Hello students, lecture 108. In this video lecture we'll discuss two articles. The first article is the two influences experienced after the war reconstruction. The two impact what the World War had given and the post-war settlement and rise of the Bretton Woods institutions and the Bretton Woods development in its early post-war years, that is after the war years and after rising the Bretton Woods, in what way it had developed. So first article is the two important influences shaped after war reconstruction, that whatever changes were made after war, then what two influences were faced. The first influence was that US emerged as the dominant and economic, political and military power in the Western world. That rise of America as the military superpower, political superpower and economic superpower. Second was the dominance of Soviet Union, as it had made huge sacrifice to defeat Nazi Germany and transform itself from a backward agrarian country into a world power during the very years when the capitalist world trapped in the Great Depression. Meaning the two countries, America and US, rather Soviet Union, at the time it was USSR, Soviet Union, emerged as the superpowers. These were the two important influences shaped after post-war. Now post-war settlement and rise of the Bretton Woods institutions. About this, the economists and politicians, world economists and politicians, draw two key lessons from interwar economic exchanges. The first lesson was that an industrial society based on mass production cannot be sustained without mass consumption, and there was a need for high and stable incomes, and incomes could not be stable if employment was unstable, and thus the stable incomes also required steady and full employment, that is full employment, sustained economy and the industrial development and production. All these can be sustained only if the produced things are consumed in mass number. The second lesson which was learned related to a country's economic links with outside world, that countries should maintain its link with other countries in the outside world, and the goal of full employment could only be achieved. The target of full employment could only be achieved if governments had power to control three flows: the flow of goods, the flow of capital and the flow of labor. So these were the two lessons learned. Now after that, the war settlement, post-war settlement. The main aim of the first after the post-First World War international economic system to control economic stability, to establish economic stability and full employment in industrial world countries. Its framework was agreed upon at the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference, which was held in July 1944 at Bretton Woods in New Hampshire, America. That is popularly known as Bretton Woods system. Bretton Woods Conference established the International Monetary Fund, that is called IMF. It was aimed to deal with external surpluses and deficit of its member countries. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, later on popularly came to be known as World Bank, are referred as to Bretton Woods twins. In short, IMF and World Bank were called the Bretton Woods twins, as both of them were give to rise as a part of Bretton Woods institutions. The post-war internal economic system is also often described as Bretton Woods system. And last point about this, the IMF and World Bank commenced its finance operation, means they started dealing with financial loan in the world countries in 1947. Decision making in these institutions is controlled by Western industrial power. The America has its effective right of veto over the key IMF and World Bank decisions, that most of the decisions are taken by America, as America is contributing the maximum share in IMF and the World Bank. The Bretton Woods system was based on fixed exchange rate, that is, the dollar itself, American dollar, US dollar itself was anchored to gold at a fixed rate of $35 per ounce, that is unit of weight of gold. At that time it was fixed. Later on we'll discuss further when the fixed exchange rate was broken. Now the role of Bretton Woods in early post-war years. After the war, but after rising the Bretton Woods, how did it work? First, the Bretton Woods system inaugurated an unprecedented growth, means unthinkable growth, trade and income for Western industrial nations and Japan. World trade grew annually at over 8% between 1950s to 1970s, and incomes at nearly 5%. This was not thought that this much growth will take place as a part of Bretton Woods system. The growth was mostly stable. Without large fluctuation, means not less, not more, not increasing, not decreasing much, and unemployment rate, for example, average less than 5% in most industrial nations. So unemployment was also less. And last one is, the developing countries were in a hurry, they wanted fast changes to catch up with the advanced industrial countries. Therefore, they invested large amount of money importing industrial plant and equipment featuring modern technology, and it started giving rise to increase or spurt or race in the modern technology. So this is how the Bretton Woods started working after its rise and post-war years, that after the end of the First World War. So we can say that First World War gave rise to the Bretton Woods system. The main aim was to look after the economic crisis which were experienced during the First World War. So it was the Bretton Woods system and its rise. In next lecture we'll discuss about downfall of Bretton Woods and end of this system. So thank you very much. Keep on reading, watching. That's all.